Jon Jones just gave one of the most ridiculous interviews I have ever seen in the lead up to UFC 309 this weekend. We're here to go over the answers to some of these questions and just the absolute cope and kind of the admitting, too, that he understands that Tom Aspinall beat him. So let's get started. Middle of the second question here. First question was just about some BS about fighting in New York. He's going to give DC some props and say that he's his most talented opponent. All right.
When you break down Stipe, a guy many people consider the greatest, it's usually between him, Kane, and DC as the most skilled heavyweights. Do you see him as the most skilled heavyweight the UFC has ever seen and possibly the most skilled opponent you faced in the UFC?
I think actually Daniel Cormier is probably the most skilled. You know, his Stipe's beat. Daniel Cormier's lean.
Yeah, so he says DC. Very easy to say that after beating him on roids twice and absolutely ruining his legacy. So I just thought that was funny. That's the most tame of the questions and answers we're gonna get here. But next question. This is where it gets started here. They're gonna ask him about the whole ducking stuff. Okay.
Jon, with that narrative, you've obviously been having a little bit of fun with it in the lead up to this fight. You're saying
And we're watching this at 1.25 speed because he is so goddamn slow in answering.
quack quack on Twitter, addressing the duck things. What are those fans getting wrong? Why are you not ducking Tom Aspinall? What are they reading wrong about this situation?
Okay, so I feel like narratives have been created that just truly aren't there. You can't duck a man that you were never scheduled to fight. It's like,
Well, hold on. Never scheduled because they've been scheduling this, but you would have been scheduled if you aren't going to retire and run away like a bitch after this fight.
it's like saying you got turned down by a girl who you never even hit on. You know what I'm saying? It's like me and Dana and Hunter have never sat down and talked
Does he hit on women? Never mind.
about Tom Aspinall. He's never been on my radar.
He's never been on my radar. The interim champion in his division that filled in for him when he got hurt and then has defended the belt since then isn't on his radar.
And Hunter have never sat down and talked about Tom Aspinall. He's never been on my radar.
Never been on my radar.
Never.
That's absurd.
I mean, just a moment ago, it was him and Sergey that was fighting.
Yeah, to fill in for you, little bro.
And Sergey
You couldn't make it your old ass to the fucking octagon.
could be in this position right now, and I would still be in the same place. I've beat people my whole career, and once I beat them, like the show just goes on. Like the French fans were just all over my case, and I just beat their guy, and I find myself constantly in the same position.
All right, first of all, Cyril Gane definitely threw that fight. Second of all, it's only because of the whole Francis BS, and they had to try to make it seem like Jones is better than Francis.
Oh wow, he.
Third of all, Cyril Gane was not a fucking champion.
He just beat another guy. Like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, when I beat Glover Teixeira, he was on a 20-fight winning streak. And you beat Glover, and then everything just moves on. So for me personally now, it's just like, I get that Tom is an exciting fighter. I get that finally, after 16 years, we found somebody who's 7 years younger than me and 30 pounds bigger than me. Like, we finally found someone who may give me a great challenge.
Exactly. Finally has some adversity in his career, and let's retire now.
And everyone wants to see it so bad. But for me, it's like, what is it? What's in it for me? He changes nothing if I beat him.
I'm not going to lie. That is true. It doesn't really change anything on his legacy to beat Tom Aspinall. I mean, it would be a great way to go out, beating a guy like him that is probably going to be the future of the heavyweight division. But I kind of do agree at that point. It doesn't really do anything for him.
Beating Tom is just like beating Cyril Gane.
That's not true. That is definitely not true. Tom Aspinall has the record, like, by far for shortest fights. He's finishing everybody quick. That is not the same thing at all.
Has a whole country behind him. He's hot right now. What happens to me after I beat him? Nothing changes for me. So
you would get respect from the fans for once. Maybe, you fucking piece of shit. For once.
So I'm not ducking Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, you are.
If I failed to fight Stipe, I would be ducking Stipe because we contract.
Yeah, Stipe, who was fucking off doing nothing, retired at that point, just got fucking slept by Ngannou, and he had no intention of coming back at all, other than for this possible fight. You'd be ducking Stipe though, because he was on your radar, right? Fucking crazy, bro.
Actually, have been signed up to fight over a year ago. This is Stipe's position. The Tom narrative came out of nowhere. He won a belt, and now
it came out of nowhere.
Suddenly I'm ducking him. I've never had negotiations to even fight him, if this makes sense. So the fans are just ignoring it.
It came out of nowhere.
They're ignoring all logic,
he won the
and they just have finally found someone that they think can compete with me, and everyone wants to see it now.
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's ducking. We'll just move on from that, Cope.
Pereira walks around at like 240, and he has magnificent accolades. Business-wise, it makes more sense. I'm going to call him this. Fight the nobody.
The nobody, little bro. You're the fucking nobody. You've been doing nothing for fucking 3 years, except for fucking finishing Cyril Gane, who threw the goddamn fight, and then getting your ass beat by fucking Dominic Reyes. Like, what? You've done nothing in fucking 4 years, bro.
That may be more dangerous. Or fight the guy with all the accolades, who's incredibly dangerous, but it actually will affect your.
The guy with all the accolades is incredibly dangerous. Look at Tom. Look at Tom's finishing rate, dude. I would say he's just as dangerous as Pereira. And my honest opinion, I think Aspinall beats Pereira at heavyweight. I think that's a pretty common opinion, but I don't think that really goes. I don't think that's that much to say. So to say, oh, Pereira's the guy, yeah, let's have him go up another weight class and fight me, who's just gonna wrestle like a little bitch.
Me beating Cyril Gane didn't change anything for me. Just gave me a few more millions.
Nobody cares about that.
And it would be the same for Tom Aspinall, where when you look back and it's like Jon just beat Alex Pereira, it's bigger. It's just much bigger. And anybody who can't understand that logic simply doesn't want to.
Maybe in pay-per-view sales, but in legacy, absolutely not.
Last one for me. The gloves. It looks like we're switching back to the old UFC gloves.
Here we go. I just saw today, just came out today, that they were switching back to the old UFC gloves. I thought maybe it was because there was a lot of old fighters on this card, but let's hear the explanation from the fucking horse's mouth of why.
After these new ones came in June, do you have any thoughts on that? Are you excited about using the old gloves, and what is your opinion on that?
I'm really excited about the old gloves. I got sent a pair of the new gloves several weeks ago. I tried them on, and
First of all, only several weeks ago to prepare for this fight that you've known about for a year, and these gloves have been out for months and months now, is ridiculous.
thought they were tight. I used to fit an XL, and then the new glove, I had to put on a 3XL. The shape, curving your hands like that,
maybe because you're
they
a
were
fat
very
heavyweight
uncomfortable for
now,
me. And
with
I was
a
actually really
beer
stressed
belly.
thinking about how am I going to go into fight week wearing these gloves that I don't even want to train in. So when I got a phone call recently, they said, everyone on this card are veterans. Why put a bunch of vets in a new glove? Let's give you guys all what you're used to.
Because
it was a
that's what
major relief
everybody
to
has
my
to
coach
do.
Brandon, who wraps my hands. It was a major relief to me.
What is
as
the
well.
point of the new gloves then?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Especially for him, bro. He's going to eye poke the fuck out of Stipe, bro. You serious?
So Dana calls you the greatest fighter of all time. Many people agree with that. I
Dana
agree with
fucking
that.
glucks your glizz
That said,
all
a lot of the
time,
other
yeah.
goats in other sports, Tom Brady, Usain Bolt, Simone Biles, those kind of people, they kind
We're
of
just gonna hear
sidestep
the
the
beginning of
goat
this
talk,
answer, 'cause it just goes
but
on
you like
forever
embrace
about this
it, and
shit.
you'll be online, and you almost seem insulted if anybody says someone else's. Like, why is it so important to you?
You know, I don't know if I agree with me being insulted if they say anybody else
Yeah,
is.
we'd all agree with that. We'd all agree with
Dana
that.
definitely advocates for me.
True.
Yeah.
I think more than I advocate for myself, and it means a lot.
I bet it does. Yeah, I bet it does when you guys are home alone. Unbelievable. Moving on to the next clip. Finally, one of the reporters actually asked him a tough question, hits him with some stats about Tom
Last
Aspinall.
one for me. I agree that the Alex Pereira fight would be massive. Obviously, the accolades, I think, is a really strong argument you make. That said, I think one of the critiques people have
Gives
is
him
not
a little
that
bait.
you picking Alex over Tom. It's the he doesn't deserve to fight me statement.
Watch
When
this.
you compare
Watch
his
this.
career at this point to when you got a title shot, he has more wins, more stoppages, more wins against ranked opponents, more main events. He's got the interim title. So what is your response to people saying, like,
Oh, it just brutalizes him with the stats, man. Jones does not like the numbers, man. I'm sure he's not too good with them.
not that you take it out of Pereira. I mean, gosh, the guy's amazing.
Gosh.
But
Tries to glaze him a little
Tom
bit.
doesn't deserve me
Throws the thing
comment.
out, reels him in.
Well,
Here's the
maybe I
stat,
didn't.
bitch.
Maybe I didn't phrase it right.
Oh,
Maybe I didn't phrase it right. You know,
Walk it back.
the truth is, he does deserve
What is he-
many great things in his
Oh,
life, and
many
I
great
wish
things.
him
Not the
to have
fight,
a
though.
magnificent UFC career. I really do. I have nothing personal against Tom.
I have a big vocabulary. Nothing personal. Seems
So maybe
pretty
I shouldn't have said
fucking
that he doesn't
personal, bro.
deserve, because he does deserve great things.
Great things though. Not an undisputed title fight, but he deserves great things. Great things.
What I'd
Wait until some of these later questions about Jones being so proud of him. Oh my God.
like to see him
Even
do
just
is
thinking
go
about
on
it.
and have a great career. You know, so many times people like to just try to go straight to the top. You know, and if
Is that what he did? Go straight to the top, bro? He was about to get to the top and then blew his knee out against Curtis Blades and then had to rework his way to the top, fill in for your bum ass and take that fight, and then defend the interim title against the guy that he blew his knee out against. What have you done?
we're in a business setting where he is and where I am, he wouldn't even be crossing paths with me.
He wouldn't even be
He wouldn't even be
crossing
talking to
paths with me. He wouldn't even be talking to me. The interim champion in your division wouldn't even be crossing paths with you. Is that right? Does that make any fucking sense at all with your red fucking shiny earrings in?
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
I'm sure he's very welcome in New York.
It's not about what Tom deserves or don't deserve. I believe it's what I do deserve.
It's
And
all
after this
about
many
him.
years with this
Selfish
company
fucking bitch.
and all the
about
work
him,
that I've
bro.
put in, I believe
all
I'm
the
at a
work
place
you
where I
did,
deserve to
ruining
be able to
events,
say,
popping drug
I don't want to fight
tests,
that guy. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight
getting
that guy. And that's
arrested,
why
all the work
I'm be
you've
more
done.
than willing to relinquish the belt. I don't feel like I need the heavyweight championship of the world. I feel like what I've
Why are
created
you
for
here,
myself
then?
is almost bigger than belts.
I don't feel like I need the heavyweight championship. What the fuck are you doing here then, bro? Stop wasting everybody's time. Nobody gives a fuck about you two geriatric old fucks fighting. Nobody cares except for some fucking old heads.
To take a step back and say, hey, you become the heavyweight champion. Go ahead and let's see you become a 17-time champion.
He's going to anyway,
Or let's see
with
you
or
even beat
without you,
Stipe's
bro.
record. That's going to be hard for anybody to do. But what I do
not.
feel like I deserve is the ability to just
Those
take a step
interim
back
title
and say,
fights
hey,
count,
either I
bro.
retire or I start fighting fights that make sense to my legacy. And Alex Pereira is the only fight right now that makes sense to my legacy. A guy who's young and, well, my age and active still and have something worthwhile to me. Fans around the world, a lot of people really.
All right, he's just yapping for a while now. So next question. This is where it gets good. They pretty much ask him if he has any regrets. Jon Jones, if he has any regrets. So certainly there's plenty, right?
I know you're. I know you're undecided on retirement. It seems with each passing interview, you're
guy's
probably
nervous as
flip-flopping
hell,
one way
man.
or the other. But if you could reflect on your career, do you have any regrets, or do you think everything has panned out the way that it was supposed to pan out?
Any regrets? Any regrets in your career where you're the highest fucking reporting drug tested athlete? You got popped the most out of anybody. Suspended, arrested, all this. Any regrets?
I have many regrets. I have many
Let's
regrets,
hear 'em
but
then,
at the end of
bro.
the day, I'm very aware that the man that I am today has turned out to be a pretty solid human being. And
Oh, this. No, I'm not going to let him get away with that. I'm not letting him get away with this. So here we go. Jon Jones charged with 2 misdemeanors in case involving a testing agent. Yeah, that's from July of this year, dating back to 2023, where he got 2 misdemeanors, one for assault and one for interference with communications because a drug tester came to his house when he was fucked up, at least drunk. He was at least drunk at the point. They said that he was at least drunk and intoxicated. Gets an assault and this on the female drug tester. It wasn't even the male. There was a male and a female there. On the female drug tester, assaults her and took her phone and wouldn't let her call anybody to get out of there. That's what happened. That was a year ago, and he's so proud of himself.
individual, team player, neighbor.
I'm such a great neighbor in New Mexico. Yeah, getting arrested all the time.
I mean, you name it. You name it. I'm really proud of the man that I am today. And I think everything that you go through in life, it shapes you. And I wouldn't have the wisdom that I have today if I hadn't gone through some of the things that I've gone through. So today I'm a very, very proud man of who I am today. And yeah, it's been a great career. I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Still gonna yap after that. So he's very proud of himself, guys. So if you live out to be a guy like Jon Jones and I don't know what I can say on YouTube. Smack your wife, do powder, and juice, and be a cheater and just a menace to society. You too can say in the public stage in front of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people watching, and children too. They'll say, "Oh, Jon Jones is such a role model." You can say that you're very proud of yourself because here's your example right here.
And as far as
And as far as I'm concerned, nobody's going to check him on it either. So as far as I'm concerned, go ahead. Go ahead. Be a complete piece of shit for your entire life like him, and then just say to everybody, "Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Just because I went through all this stuff, I'm so proud of myself." Shut the fuck up.
environment, the idea
Yeah, he's still going to yap for a while here. So they're going to ask him the same old question they asked him before. Are you a good guy trying to be bad or bad guy trying to be good? The same bullshit.
So the question sounds like
Listen to this BS
this.
answer.
Are you a bad guy trying to be good, or are you a good guy trying to be bad? How would you answer this question right now?
So I've answered that question before in the past. It went pretty viral.
Yeah, no.
I went so viral, guys.
But I'll elaborate on that question. Some people are not going to want to hear this, but in the Christian faith, we
Oh, here we go.
believe that we're all born into sin. We're all sinners. The moment
Some more than others, though. Some way more than others, though, little bro.
that Adam bit that apple in the Garden of Eden, we all became kind of condemned to sin. And the way Christianity works is it's a decision to accept Christ into your life and to accept Christ into your heart. And so naturally, my nature is one of sin.
Yeah. So he's going to use Christianity to cope his way out of this one. Everybody sins, bro. Nobody's saying anybody's perfect. Some people do it a lot worse than others, and some people do it repeatedly for their entire life and then want to say they're proud of who they've become. You're no different than you ever were, bro. Last question. We're going to wrap it up. This guy's just gonna glaze the fuck out of him, and then watch how bad he like responds to this. He must have just hit his fucking.
Man, and I think it's been great. Like your answers have seemed really honest, and it's like, yes, Alex Pereira from a business standpoint makes more sense than Tom. And I also thought it was great that you were like,
if you like, tell me your room number after too.
a guy 7 years younger, 30 pounds heavier. You know, like I get it why fans want to see it.
I get it.
And maybe some fans want to see you lose, but I also think fans just want to see you like really challenged. Like they see you as like you're this greatness, and we want to see greatness challenged. Like a lot of people, their favorite fight of yours is
not just
Alexander
Cyril
Gustafsson.
God
You know,
submit
so
to nothing.
is there still a part of you like as a competitor that is drawn at all to
Watch
that?
how badly he
I
answers
hear
it,
everything
though.
that
Watch
you're
how
saying,
bad
but
it
also
is.
like, and maybe that's just something about
He's
getting
too
older
fed
and what
up
you've
already,
accomplished in your
bro. It's
career.
been
But I
like
think
6
that's why people want to see it. It's like they see it as like this great challenge. They want to see greatness challenge. Like does that entice you at all still?
There's a part of it that does, but if I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know, it's just
such an asshole, guys. I'm such a nice Christian man, and he's a big meanie.
like his fans have been so annoying, and obviously you don't get this far in a career being affected
So it does bother you. So he said earlier it didn't bother. So it does bother you. They're annoying. It must annoy you then, right?
by fans or whatnot. But he's just an asshole, you know,
This is
with
so
with his you know he's 30, so he's from this influencer generation where
The influencer generation, dude. No, he's not. No, he's fucking not, bro.
you hop online and the T-shirt sales and all
That's
that.
such cove, man.
I'm past that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, if you had a little bit more respect, then maybe we could have worked
He's past that type of stuff because he's lost all respect a long time ago. People still respect Tom Aspinall.
something out, you know, but I just don't even want to do business with him. You know, at the end of the day, this is a business, and fighting me gives him an opportunity to change his life forever.
True.
And I don't even want to give him the opportunity. Like he just played his cards wrong with me personally, and you know I'm 3 years from being a 40-year-old grown man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Wait.
the press conference,
Wait.
going through the whole shebang with him. I'd rather not do. Pereira on the other side, respectful, cool, barely says much.
Pereira's respectful and cool. Bro, he doesn't even speak English. That's the other thing why he wants to fight Pereira so bad. It is a big fight. I give him that. Probably would sell more pay-per-views than but potentially. Well, the UK market, I don't know. It depends. But the main reason I think he wants to fight Alex Pereira is because the dude does not speak English and can barely say anything in terms of trash talk. Whereas Tom Aspinall will come fucking geared up, ready for the fucking shit talk. And he
It's
knows
like
that. He doesn't
I'll
wanna
do business
deal
with
that.
you. I would risk
This is the same guy that didn't want to be on the same card as Colby Covington because he didn't want to deal with the trash talk, bro. It's pathetic.
it all with a human being like you. You actually have the accolades to back up your shit. This other guy is just a big mouth who's hot today. There's been so many guys who's hot today, who are just gone. You know, Sergey was in the same position not too long ago. Now he's starting to fall off already. I've just been around this sport too long to give a big mouth who's hot today the opportunity. All right.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Some of the most cope I've ever seen in my life, and you can tell it has definitely affected him personally. All of the talk about Tom Aspinall, all the ducking talk, and everybody kind of playing into it because it is what it is, bro. He's the interim champ. He defended the interim belt, waiting for your old ass to fight this fucking dude that you just grabbed out of a nursery home. We're waiting for you this whole time, and he just wants to fight you and unify the belts and prove that he's the best. And you're he's an asshole and he's so mean. Get the fuck over yourself, bro. You can lie to yourself all you want and say you're this nice person and you're this good Christian and you're proud of yourself and you're better. You are no different today than you were 10 years ago. And whenever your criminal history started, because he's a lifetime fucking piece of shit. I've done a video about it before. Jon Jones is a piece of shit. He always has been. He always will be. And he can't stand to fight an actual good, respectable man like Tom Aspinall that'll come out and lay the fucking gauntlet on him and probably knock his fucking bitch ass out and then send him into retirement. Listen, I understand why he wants to duck the fight, but don't be such a little pussy bitch about it and say you're not, or it's about this and it's about accolades or it's about Alex Pereira. No, it's because you know chances are you're probably getting starched like everybody the fuck else he's beaten to destroy the heavyweight division and now be at your fucking doorstep knocking on your door. And you don't want to fucking answer and say, oh, I would never cross paths with him in my line of work. We wouldn't even talk to each other. He's the interim champ in your division who's defended the belt in your absence over the last year. If that's not the biggest cope I've ever heard in mixed martial arts, I'd love for you to tell me something better. Unbelievable. I mean, I get at least it wasn't a boring interview, but I don't know if I've ever been so fucking angry in an interview like this. Just so unbelievably disassociated from reality. Not only about the circumstances of the fight, but about him as a person. I guess that's the kind of cope you need to be a complete sociopath, psychopath, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He can sit here and talk all nice and calm, bro. He is a piece of shit to his core. He knows it. Everybody knows it. I don't give a fuck. Beat Stipe. Get the fuck out. Let's move on. Nobody gives a fuck about this bum anyway. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. I'll be back with my predictions tomorrow. And yeah, fuck Jon Jones once again. Peace.